Happy September, friends. Okay, so I'm really excited to share all of this information with you. I made a bunch of notes about the upcoming week, and this is just barely scratching the surface. So you'll have to let me know if it makes sense. Have spent so much time looking at this stuff. And I'm quite caffeinated today, so I'm just like really excited. So I know like how some of the language can be a little bit confusing, the different vocabulary, like sextile and conjunct and that stuff. So you'll just have to listen with curious ears, and please, please, please let me know if I need to dial it back a little bit or if I need to make it more easily digestible. I'm just going to kind of read off my notes to you and talk to you about what is going on in the cosmos this week. So we'll start with today, which is September 1st, Wednesday. The sun is in Virgo and the moon is in Cancer. It is a waning crescent moon. We're coming up to the new moon, like Sunday and Monday. The energy is kind of like plus or minus a day. We can kind of get like 3 good days of the new moon vibes. So the energy is, according to the moon, it's decreasing. We do have a lot of aspects going on that are really energizing. So you might not feel as like internal, as likely to slow down. Today, and I think tomorrow, the sun and the moon are sextiling, and so what that means is that they're getting along really harmoniously. So that's your inner world and your outer world. There's a harmonious interaction between your emotional body and your outer expression, your personality. This makes your self-expression easier. It gives you a sense of calm, ability to get along well with others, and a sense of balance between the inner and the outer. Now, until September 14th, so like 2 weeks away, Mars is opposite of Neptune. And I did make a little post about that on the Instagram page that I have. And that is the warrior and the mystic kind of squaring off. So this gives you a lot of drive and a lot of motivation to get things done, but you can be confused because Neptune is the planet of illusion and deception. So you can have a lot of energy. Mars is in Virgo. You can have a lot of energy to get stuff done, a lot of energy that's like spurring you to work on your to-do list and feeling like you want to be productive and you want to get things done. But you can also kind of feel like you don't really know what the next step is, or you don't know what to do. You can forget what you were doing a lot. You can walk into a room and be like, why did I come in here? That kind of stuff. So that will be going on until the 14th. I know sometimes that can make people feel kind of lazy. It can make people feel kind of like they'd rather be in this dreamy state than doing things, and there can just be tension because you have there's a lot of drive to accomplish things with Mars and Virgo, and then with Neptune there, it can make you kind of feel like, well, I don't even really know what to do, or I don't know how to accomplish this. So the warrior squaring off with the mystic, we have a lot of drive and motivation to get things done, but can get confused by the illusions of Neptune. Make your lists. We have a lot of earth energy in the sky, so having tangible proof of what needs to be done, kind of like an outline of the steps that you need to take to get where you want to go, can be kind of helpful. And you've got this, don't worry. Like I said, it's not a permanent thing. It will pass. So if you feel yourself getting frustrated with yourself not knowing what to do, just lift up your legs and float downstream. It'll be okay. We also have Venus squaring Pluto, and that'll be all the way through the 13th. So examine your relationships with yourself, but also with others. Relationships can feel a little bit trickier right now. Our emotions are intense. With Pluto is a planet of transformation. Pluto is kind of like a nuclear powerhouse, and Venus is kind of like a flower. So it can be a challenging aspect with intense emotions. You're struggling on the inside, or you're feeling very deeply on the inside. It might affect how you show love to your partner, you show love to your kids or to your friends, and love and affection, and you can just get wrapped up in what you're experiencing and not offer what you normally offer to your loved ones, which they can get a sense of and they can feel, and it can just cause some difficulty within relationship. Pluto is the planet of transformation, so transformation is not always comfortable. This is a good time to kind of examine yourself, to really ask yourself if you're trying to gain the upper hand in your close relationships. Have you made habits out of destructive behaviors and simply gotten used to them the way that you get used to a smell or tight muscles? This is a good time to transform destructive habits into opportunities for creation. I think as we get used to our destructive habits and our those patterns that we get into, they begin to build inertia. And the longer that we stay making those decisions and that destructive behavior, the more energy builds around that, and the harder it is to kind of change directions. From destruction comes creation. So yeah, that's a big one. Thursday, September 2nd. I did Wednesday, September 1st twice for some reason. I'm so silly. Thursday, tomorrow, September 2nd, the sun is in Virgo and the moon is still in Cancer. So this is, it's a social time, close connections, sun sextiling moon still. So it's harmonious connection between the inner and the outer worlds. With Mercury in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, it can help to soften challenges that come from Pluto squaring Venus. So it may feel like, I drew this scale. It may feel like you're kind of in flux, like you'll feel really harmonious and really easy to get along with, and then all of a sudden it'll tip the other way and might feel like you're in this balancing act. May feel like you're trying to balance the scales all the time, harmony and discomfort. One is going to be lifting and one is going to be lowering, and it's going to kind of be in this flux place. The discomfort probably just comes from the transformation and the creative destruction. So try to give yourself space when you're on the lower end, when you are feeling uncomfortable, and just know and trust that you're probably in a transformative space, and that transformation is not comfortable. It's not something, our brain kind of views it as a problem when we venture into the unknown, and you can't transform if you don't kind of tiptoe into the unknown a little bit, because you're leaving what you knew and you're transforming into something different. So give yourself some space to feel uncomfortable and not do anything about it, because we just have to know that the scales are going to tip the opposite way again. Friday, September 3rd, the moon is in Leo and the sun is still in Virgo. So this is the first time that we've had fire in the sky for a good little while. So this is a good time to let yourself have some fun. It's a good time to throw a temper tantrum, to have a dance party, to yell out into the wind, to shred a phone book with your bare hands, do something to release the steam from the tea kettle. So sweat, laugh, sing loudly, some type of outer expression. If you think about how just a tea kettle on a stove will build energy and build energy and build energy to the point of it needing to release. This is a really good time to let whatever's been building up inside of you go. And there are constructive ways to do this. We don't need to wait until we have this full-blown rage reaction to something. You can choose to sing in your car as you're driving around. You can choose to yell in your car. That's not going to hurt anybody. But let that steam out. It'll behoove you to let that tea kettle release some tension. Saturday, September 4th, the sun is still in Virgo and the moon is still in Leo. Now, the moon and Venus have a really harmonious relationship, and this is Leo. The moon is in Leo, and Venus is in Libra, and that's fire and air. So those two elements get along really well together. They kind of, if you add fire to air, it makes this big explosion. It makes the flames even bigger. And Leo and Libra are both all about beauty. They're about expressing yourself in a way that makes you feel really good and beautiful and creative and fun. So do something to feel beautiful, and that doesn't mean like putting on makeup today or doing your hair today. What makes you feel beautiful? It can be those things, but find some way to beautify something. You can like rearrange something in your house. You can clean your house. That might make it feel really beautiful to you. Maybe hanging out with people that make you feel really beautiful on the inside and on the outside, people that you just love and make you feel good. It doesn't even have to be a face-to-face. It can be over Zoom. It can be a phone call. It can be anything. Just find some way to bring beauty into this day. Sunday, September 5th, the sun is in Virgo, the moon is still in Leo a little bit. This is Mars is trining Pluto, so it's the warrior planet in harmonious relationship with the planet of transformation. It's our masculine energy, it's our drive in harmony with the planet of creative destruction. So you can use this aspect to drive yourself forward in a transformative way. You aim for success, and this aspect will really help you to get there. Aim for success, for a greater version of yourself, for something that is bigger and better than what you were yesterday or before. The influence of planetary energy will help to prepare you forward. It encourages fitness, it encourages movement, it encourages recalibration of your body's natural energy. And the sun is in Virgo, and so we have to incorporate that somehow. Virgo is all about taking care of yourself. It's the medicine woman. It's the person who takes their supplements, who knows what supplements to take and what remedies to offer for specific ailments. So do something on Sunday for your physical health, whether it is a yoga class from all the huge collection of yoga classes that are available in the Patreon page, or maybe you go for a walk or a swim. Maybe you take your vitamins, maybe you go grocery shopping or make something really, really healthy to eat. Find some way to take care of your physical body in a way that is going to, it's going to guide you in a bigger, better direction, so you can accomplish your goals and you can be a healthy individual. You can use this energy to make major and positive transformations in your life, and then that translates into the world around you. So if you are bettering yourself, if you are increasing your vitality, you're going to be able to show up in the world in a better way than if you're not taking care of yourself. You'll be able to help to make the world a better place in a much more powerful way. Monday, September 6th, we have the new moon. I'm not sure if it's like late Sunday night or early Sunday morning or what exactly the time is, but it is a new moon. It is a dark sky. Not very much is illuminated outside because the sky is dark. So in a symbolic manner, it's a really good time to go inward. Heavy influence of Earth again. There are 5 out of 10 planets in Earth. There are 4 out of 10 planets in air. New moons are already very introspective times. Like I said, nothing out here is illuminated, so we're kind of forced more inside of ourselves. With earth and air, that much earth and air, we have a tendency to get more intensely into our heads. We get kind of heady, we get wrapped up in our thoughts. Sometimes our thoughts can circle and cycle and spin around kind of like a cyclone. We can get sucked into them. I don't think that that's a very productive use of this energy. I think that it's easy to fall into that, but the highest potential of Virgo, and there's 3 planets in Virgo, is being organized, being structured, so you can offer incredible gifts of service to those around you. You seem to just know how to care for others. But remember, if you're not caring for yourself as well, you don't have very much to offer. If you don't fill your own cup up first, you cannot pour anything out of it into anyone else's. The more shadowy aspects, the more challenging aspects of this much Virgo in the sky is that you can get hypercritical. We can stop and analyze how much we're doing. We can get sucked into this inner critic telling us that we haven't done enough, that we haven't been doing it right, it's like, I'm sure that you guys have experienced that potent inner voice that will try to convince you that what you're doing is not enough and you're not enough. So don't let yourself get sucked into those lies. Remember, being is as important as doing, and you are doing great. Tuesday, September 7th. The sun is in Virgo, the moon is still in Virgo. This day, the moon and Mars are conjunct, so they're right next to each other. And so the moon and Mars are conjunct over here in Virgo, and then Neptune is opposing them. So we talked about Neptune opposite Mars a little bit ago. All of that still applies here. Let's see. So it's the warrior energy and the emotional body. So expect some feisty energy in your emotional body today. When the warrior and the emotions are right next to each other, we can feel really passionate, we can feel really intensely, we can get really heated up on the inside with our emotions. And I also expect a little bit of confusion, or a little bit of delusion. You may feel extreme passion and not quite know what to do with it. So do some journaling or talk through it with someone who can hold space for you, to feel, to talk it out, to process without offering too much, without offering advice, without telling you how you should feel or what you should be doing. Something that will be a constructive outlet for your passions. So we don't want people telling us we shouldn't feel that way. We don't want people telling us like what we should be, like how we should be different. We just want someone to listen and allow for you to kind of process through the intensity of what you're feeling, because it can be confusing. We have the planet of illusion and delusion squaring our right opposite of our emotional body and our drive. So just allowing yourself to process, to think about like where your passions are coming from, where the source of your anger is coming from, where the source of your vitality is coming from, where your sense of direction is coming from, is going to help you to not feel so confused and not so kind of dreamy when it comes to the source of what you're feeling. And last but not least, we have Wednesday, September 8th. The sun is in Virgo and the moon is in Libra. And today the moon on Wednesday the 8th, the moon is conjunct Mercury. So it moved pretty quickly away from Mars. That is just a short little aspect. When our emotional body and our thoughts are are united, we get really attached to certain ideas. We get really attached to people, to places, to things, because our emotions are linked very closely to how we're thinking. Makes it very easy to become attached to certain ideas, beliefs, or thoughts because your emotions are involved. That's powerful stuff. You may find it challenging to get interested in doing things that you don't have an emotional connection to. Just think of today as a day where your emotions and your mind are very closely related. When we get attached to our thoughts, when we get attached to our beliefs or our ideas, sometimes we can get really defensive, and we feel like we need to convince other people to feel the same way about certain things as we do. And we don't need to convince anyone of that. That's not our place. We only have our own experiences. When we get so attached that we get defensive and we want other people so badly to see things exactly the way that we do, we can close our mind to any other possibilities. We can become prejudiced. And today, remember to be humble. Because what do you really know anyway? What do I really know anyway? There's so much more in the world that I don't know. I don't understand. So if you just watch yourself, be the observer, watch how your emotions and your thoughts play together, how you get emotionally attached to certain thoughts, and let's try not to like force other people to feel the same way about what you're thinking, because what do we know? I don't know. Awesome. Well, that's what I've got. I would love some feedback if that was like too fast, or if it didn't make a lot of sense. If you'd like it to be simplified in any way, please let me know somehow, some way. And I'm really excited to grow and evolve in these, hopefully find a really good rhythm that makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. So if you could be patient with me as I'm learning and as I'm growing as an astrologer, I would appreciate it deeply. And I hope you all have a wonderful week.